So at this time, let me just officially greet and welcome again the Honorable Floyd Green, our Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. Minister, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. A round of applause for the Minister. We welcome the Honorable Minister of State, Franklin Witter. Welcome, sir. Round of applause for the Minister. And we welcome our Chief Executive Officer, the Rural Agricultural Development Authority, Mr. Garnet Edmondson. Welcome, Mr. Edmonds. I also want to extend a warm welcome to many of our long-standing partners and collaborators. And so good is the relationship. They are our colleagues in agriculture. So let me welcome Mr. Graham Dunkley and his team from Caribbean Chemicals. Round of applause for them. Mr. Omar Johnson and his team from the St. Jago Farm Supplies. Welcome. We have Mr. Kingsley Palmer from H&L in the morning, and you hear his program, or on the even other sessions that he would go. Farmers are asking about insurance, and so you can visit the GK Insurance tent on the outside, and those persons who I call H&L Agro, St. Jago Farm Supplies, they are on display on the outside. So once again, we thank you. I would also like to just extend apologies for His Worship, the Mayor, Councillor Richard Solomon, who is unavoidably absent, as well as Custos Beryl Rochester, unavoidably absent. But they send their well wishes to the initiative, to the ministers and the RADA team and all the other stakeholders and farmers that are here. They send their well wishes to this morning event. As is customary for us, we invite the Father's presence, and so I'll be calling upon Miss Charmaine Taylor, who is a proud farmer, and she's going to open this session in prayer for us this morning. Miss Taylor.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Let us pray. Loving Lord, as we gather in this hour, dear Lord, we want to acknowledge your presence and your guidance in our life. Lord, today we gather for a special occasion, dear Lord, and we want you to be ever near us, Lord. We pray for each member present here today, dear Lord. Lord, in a special way, I want to present each and every presenter to you, dear Lord, from whichever entity they may be from, dear Lord. I pray that whatever they have to present to you, dear Lord, that you will equip them with the knowledge, dear Lord, that they will present with clarity, dear Lord. And I pray, dear Lord, that everything we do today, be with us in every aspect of this journey, dear Lord. Help us, dear Lord, that whatever we will learn here today, dear Lord, that we can go back to our various communities, dear Lord, and it will be of benefit to us, dear Lord, that we will be better able to conduct our day-to-day aspect of our life, dear Lord. So thank you for answering and hearing our prayers. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yes. And you know, in that opening acknowledgement, let me just acknowledge the principal of the Newell High School, Miss Audrey Ellington. We thank her for allowing us to host this event at this beautiful school, the staff members, And students, thank you so much. And just a little secret, if you never know, Miss Ellington is a farmer. And when she came to Newell High School, she entered as an agricultural science teacher. And today she's serving as principal. I think that deserves a round of applause. She's a farmer at heart. And as we say, old farmer Ellington, we thank you. As we move straight into our program, we will now invite Mr. Garnet Edmondson, Chief Executive Officer of RADA, World Relevant Authority, to come with opening remarks. Welcome him.
Thank you, Mr. Shaw. Let me welcome both ministers, Minister Honorable Clyde Green and Minister Franklin Witter. They are always with us. Let me also acknowledge the good work of Mr. Winston Shaw. I want to tell you something before I start. Mr. Shaw is not just our moderator. Mr. Shaw is second in charge of our technical department and also a specialist in water management. So Mr. Shaw is wearing a hat today, and give him a round of applause for what he's doing here today. Let me also acknowledge the presence of some members of my team, Mr. Winston Simpson, Mrs. Marina Young, she is here somewhere, Mr. Owen Barrett, and there are other team members, Mr. Mark Lee, who's the parish manager here. I also want to acknowledge some of our engineering team just walked in, and very important, our other parish managers who are here to support Mr. Lee this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, it's truly a pleasure to bring greetings this morning on this landmark occasion, the official launch of RADA Connect. Today marks the of a new outreach program. It's a signal in a bold step in our mission to transform Jamaica's agriculture. Very important move that we together transform agriculture in Jamaica. Is our unwavering commitment to food security, ensuring that every Jamaican in every corner of this island has access to safe, nutritious, and locally cooked food. We cannot overstate the importance of food security, especially in a time like now when there is a global interruption in food production. Agriculture growth and rural development remains central to Jamaica's progress through RADA and we're not only bringing services to the farmer, we're helping to unlock their full potential. We must support our farmers by ensuring they practice sustainable agricultural practices, such as soil conservation, water management, and reduce the impact of climate change. Our extension services, corporate services, and technical services stands ready to guide and support with critical time management in this transition to transform agriculture in Jamaica. To our farmers, know that you're not alone. RADA is with you from seed to harvest, from problem to solution. RADA Connect, bridge, better access, faster response, and a more consistent support. Together, let us build a stronger, greener, and more secure agriculture future. Minister, let's face production and productivity together. I want to close by saying today we start the transformation. Today we embrace the piece of food, we embrace what we think should drive production, the tension, drive down import and increase production. All our officers are out today as a signal of RADA's commitment to a program that will now bridge that information gap between farmers and the support services RADA provides. Thank you very much.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen, give the CEO another round of applause. Important, RADA connect. When I say RADA, you say connect. RADA, RADA, one more time, RADA. Excellent. And if you listen carefully, it's not it's a new movement, right? Bringing that technical service right on spot on your location. And as the CEO said, it's a move that will be going right across the island. So if you come from Trelawney, St. James, as it's among Trelawney and St. James friends here, Hanover, it don't matter where you come from, RADA Connect will be connecting with you at your location. I just want to say and acknowledge the security forces that are on the ground. Give them a round of applause. Working towards a safer Jamaica. So we thank them for being here, and we thank our team and good friend from IRFM who is bringing this information right across the entire Jamaica and the region at this time. We now move to greetings from Honorable Frank Witter, MPJP Minister of State in the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. Make him welcome as he comes to us.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Honorable Floyd Green, our hard-working Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. Mr. Edmund, the CEO of RADA, and other members of the team. I see quite a few members of the team from RADA, other persons who are here from the different agencies and departments of the ministry. I also see head of MSW and other officers from that agency. The Managing Director of Caribbean Chemicals, Mr. Graham Dunkley, General Manager of H&L Agro, Pauline Shaw, CEO of Isratech, Mr. Benjamin, all the other distinguished persons here, members of the of staff from the Newell High School who are accommodating us here, members of the media, and most importantly, our farmers. Good morning to you all. I must say that I'm very happy to be participating in this exercise here today. It is called the official launch of RADA Connect. But I just want to remind us this morning that we are not just connecting with our farmers. We would have already have a great connection between RADA, the Ministry of Agriculture, and our farmers. What we are doing here today really is to deepen and strengthen the connection in respect of the farmers and the collaboration with the different partners here today. and the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. Ladies and gentlemen, today's launch marks an important step forward in our commitment to ensuring that our farmers have direct access to technical and advisory services through RADA. We want to ensure that we can improve production and productivity. So through this initiative, we are bringing crucial services directly into our farming communities. We are bringing crucial services, I said, and we are also making sure that we provide technical support, training, and the necessary information that is available to our farmers. The Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining continues to provide strong and consistent support to our farmers here in St. And as you know, St. Elizabeth is regarded as the breadbasket of Jamaica, and we want to ensure that we maintain that. And as we do so, we must ensure that we give the necessary support. There's a great deal of work happening in this parish from major irrigation system, and I must say that my constituency is a beneficiary of a very important project. As we speak, the Essex Valley Irrigation Project, and Minister Green will speak more on that in terms of the kind of infrastructure that we are building in St. Elizabeth and right across Jamaica to ensure that we can provide the necessary impact in relation to the development of agriculture in our community. I just want to say to you today that St. Elizabeth continues to be a pillar of national food security, and it's always contributing and has contributed a whole lot, and therefore we want to pick up and put our hands together for our farmers in St. Elizabeth. Ladies and gentlemen, as we look ahead, it is clear that the transformation of Jamaica's agricultural sector depends on the strength of our partnerships, and that is why today we have so many of our input suppliers. We also have the National Irrigation Commission, all the various partners being a part of this exercise here today. RADA Connect represents a meaningful step in that direction in terms of bringing the partnership together to ensure that we continue to make agriculture one of the most important aspect of our economic development. Food security is important, and irrespective of the importance of the other agencies and ministries, then the Ministry of Agriculture and our farmers, I believe, is the most important ministry. Because without food, no one will survive. So you wouldn't have the existence of the other ministry without the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. The ministry will continue to invest in St. Elizabeth and also in the parish right across Jamaica, as we seek to make sure that we continue to feed our nation. Together we will build a sector that is modern, sustainable, and resilient. We look forward to the continued partnership. May God bless you all. Thank you.
Give the minister another round of applause, please. And while the Newell High School get ready to bring that item while they prepare, let me just take time out to acknowledge the CEO from the National Irrigation Commission, Mr. Joseph Giles. Round of applause for him. And also the Regional Systems Manager, Mr. Singh. I saw him just now, but he shifted. He is the Mr. Singh at the back here raising his hand, the man with the big smile. Mr. Singh is responsible for providing irrigation water to farmers in this area. And you heard the minister say. The minister said that St. Elizabeth is the bread basket. And without water, basket wouldn't be so full, minister. But you know what's interesting about St. Elizabeth, especially the south side? I don't know how many of you know, but it's part of Jamaica that get the smallest amount of rainfall annually. Yes, smallest amount, yet they remain so productive. And so it shows, it's a good indication of how resilient these farmers are and also how hardworking. So give the farmers another round of applause. And when we finish with this formal part of the ceremony, just to let you know that we have adjoining this main tent here to my left, we have some specialists that are waiting to speak with the farmers. We have the on-farm water management team, we have the marketing team, the home economic social services, livestock, and also the plant health and food safety team waiting for you to answer your questions, to speak. So that will be available after. At this time we turn over to our Newell High School team. They will be coming with a cultural item. And so give them a round of applause as they will perform. Alright, I just going to go right here. So now I'm going to ask one person to just tell me one line of the song we just played.
This long time I never see you. Come back me hold you, man.
Alright, should we go basic school? Yes. Some of our cultural songs there. Thank you. Good talent. Keep the flame burning and take it to higher heights. Now we move into another important section of the agenda, which is the endorsements. And I would have mentioned before some of our I call them colleagues on the program. You would say input suppliers. But the harmony, as Minister Witter mentioned before, with these input suppliers, we call them colleagues. And so at this time, I'm going to call on Mr. Omar Johnson, the Managing Director of St. Jacob Farm and Hardware Supply, to come to us with his remarks.
All right, good day, everybody. I see the 6 people that clap for me. Thank you very much. All right, that was like about 20. All right, I'll leave with that. So, Honorable Minister Fort Green, MP Witter, the CEO of RADA, and all, as the people are saying here, our colleagues, because we work really closely with them. I don't know if people know, who here about 447 tomato? Anybody? Alright, good. So 447 was one of the first virus-resistant tomatoes we developed right here in Jamaica with the assistance of the ministry. $4 million worth of investment because of RADA and the ministry on the first. And so I'd like to thank the government here because we worked with them for a long time. Speaking of 447, we got some giveaways later, and 447 is among there, along with some magic products. Alright, anybody here ever have the water truck breakdown before? No water? Alright, come and talk to us at the table. Whoever put it up make plants live up to 10 days without water, named Bioforge. Hear about Bioforge? Alright, good. But just getting back to the remarks now, I'd like to thank RADA and RADA Connect. RADA Connect works with all of us input suppliers to make sure you get the best. We scour the world to get the best prices and the best products. When you come and visit us at our tent, you're going to learn about even more magical products that we have. And RADA always wants to make sure you get the best deals. So, we have some products there at some good discounts, and we have some giveaways. And they've also asked us to give you some additional discounts. So when you come and you drop your hand in the box for the giveaway, you might get a coupon. You're able to redeem it at stores all across St. Elizabeth. The stores are named on the back. But what I just want to say, I want to thank you guys because when I have it rough, right? They have it really, really rough. And so I want to make sure that all of us at Input Suppliers and RADA Connect, we're going to support RADA Connect as much as possible, so I can work with you more closely to bring in the best from the world so you can deliver the best to the world. You hear me?
Yes.
All right. That's it for me. Thank you very much.
Wonderful.
A round of applause to Mr. Johnson. Thank you, sir. We move now to Mr. Graham Dunkley, Managing Director of Caribbean Chemicals and Agencies Limited. Okay, so there's a switch here, so we'll have Mr. Kingsley Palmer from I am so sorry about that. Okay, so we have Mr. Dunkley, Mr. Graham Dunkley from the Managing Director from Caribbean Chemicals and Agencies. Yes, welcome.
Good morning, Minister, CEO, members of the audience, my colleagues in the agri sector. Welcome. Thank you very much for having us. Anywhere one or more farmers are gathered is a good thing. I want to commend RADA on the development of the RADA Connect. Anything that you do that is going to help a farmer to solve a problem is something that we in the sector welcome. Our job is to ensure that technology is available to the farmers so that their problems can be solved as quickly as possible so that you're as productive and profitable as possible. That is the mission. So we view RADA Connect as yet another tool that you will be able to use to identify problems, to make contact with your RADA network, and on the agri input side, we are committed to making available the newest technologies relevant to solve the problems that you face. We are proud to work with RADA, proud to interact with the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, and we are committed to you, that you improve your production, your productivity, and ultimately your profitability. Without farmers, there is no future, and you are the backbone of Jamaica. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Dunkley. And just before Mr. Kingsley Palmer is here, so we now move to Mr. Kingsley Palmer from H&L Agro Farm Supplies.
Honorable Minister Floyd Green, Honorable Franklin Ritter, my MP from the best, from the most productive area in Jamaica. You know where that is, southeastern region. And of course, our new CEO, in the person of Mr. Garnet Edmondson. Ladies and gentlemen, farmers, good morning. It is truly a pleasure to be here on this morning, afternoon, to be here to represent H&L Agro as we join in celebrating the official launch of RADA Connect, a powerful initiative that brings RADA's full suite of technical services directly to the heart of Jamaican farming communities. For over 90 years, H&L Agro has proudly served Jamaican farmers, standing as a trusted partner in agriculture by providing quality farm inputs, expert guidance, and reliable support from seed to harvest. Our core mission has always been to empower our farmers, not only with products, but with knowledge, service, and the confidence to grow. That is why we wholeheartedly support the RADA Connect program. In many ways, RADA Connect is exactly what the sector needs. A boost on the ground, community-first approach that meets farmers where they are, literally and figuratively. By strengthening access to technical officers across departments, encouraging on-farm interventions, and promoting digital registration through the RADA app, this program bridges gap in access, information, and trust. We particularly applaud RADA's focus on building capacity within our own team, ensuring that every extension officer, from plant health to water management, is equipped to serve farmers with the highest level of expertise. This aligns perfectly with our approach at H&L Agro, where our field teams, many of whom are agronomists and technical specialists, work alongside farmers every day, helping them solve problems and improve yields. In short, RADA Connect represents a bold step forward in making agriculture more responsive, more integrated, and more farmer-focused. It is the kind of initiative that deepens relationship, restores confidence in public services, and ultimately helps to secure Jamaica's food future. To the RADA team, we commend you for this vision. To the farmers, to see you, we value you, and H&L Agro stands ready to support you every step of the way. Let us continue working together to cultivate stronger farms and stronger communities across Jamaica. Thank you, and all the best for the continued support of RADA Connect.
Thank you so much, Mr. Palmer. So farmers, you have heard. You have heard from 4 stalwarts in the agricultural sector here to support you. So it's not just the Ministry of Agriculture, it's not just the RADA, but there are other entities that are here to provide support and and as Mr. Palmer says, strengthen and deepen the connection with our farmers to improve production and productivity. At this time, I'll ask Mr. Sheldon Smith, Regional Operations Manager from SPM NSWMA, to come to us with his remarks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Mr. Minister Floyd Green, Minister Frank Witter, my friend Garnet, good to see you, and all other agencies and partners. I want to say good afternoon again. I am here. It might be a little bit off for me as a garbage person, a garbage man standing in front of you, but it is important. Cleanliness is next to godliness. And God is the one that makes our fruit bear. I myself is a farmer, so it's not too far-fetched what I'm going to be saying. But I must say this, Garnet, Floyd, this is an excellent initiative. Excellent. And let us not negate that word in it, the operative word, connect. Farmers, we must connect. Now, I am here from Solid Waste this morning to give you some information and also to ask you, please partner with us. We want to connect too. Now, would you believe that 61% of what goes to our landfill is compostable, can be composted, can go back to your plants, can make fertilizers? 61%. 61%. And from time to time you do complain that, hey, the truck not reaching me often and the truck not coming on time. No, just think if we were not collecting 61% of what we're not supposed to be collecting, how quick we could be at your houses to collect your waste. So today I'm imploring you to compost. Now our manager from he's here, Mr. Benjamin, right? He's from our Parks and Markets division. We do have a Parks and Markets division in Kingston. And we have a booth out there where he's showing the farmers how to make compost and how good it is for the plants that you have. Now, we have built a box and we'll be doing a demonstration here, but we'll be having also a box at the Rich Pen Onion Farmers Association on that ground. We'll be putting a box that is an 8x8 box for you to take whatever you have there, so we can start a little plan. You can see something work in front of your eyes. And you can also get some of the fertilizer that has already been made by our parks and gardens right here and try it. And if it works, we're encouraging you to continue. We're encouraging you to continue. So farmers, I want you please today to partner with us. And also, I can't leave without saying this. Please containerize your garbage. I must say though, I'm in charge of 3 parishes, but St. Elizabeth is the most cooperative. So please, I want you to give yourselves a round of applause. Please, because you are the cleanest parish out of the 3 parishes that I have to deal with. And so I appreciate it. So please continue to containerize your waste. And the easiest way to do it is to get a nice plastic drum and place it at your gate. And as soon as you do that, we can collect your waste much quicker. Just think how quick it is to take up a drum. It's about 60 seconds than taking up numerous bags, which takes more time. And that is what causes delay many times with your garbage collection. So again, let me go back to the composting, please. In St. Elizabeth, it's not even so bad here, because you use it, you give it to your pigs, you do all those things with it. But please, let us reduce the amount of compostable waste. We're talking about the tomato skin, the yam skin and all those things, the banana skin, those things that are compostable that can make fertilizer. We're asking you to use it as compost and just place your plastics and your tins and your cardboards and so in the waste. So again, I want to thank you. And St. Elizabeth, you are the breadbasket. I have to be on the board at the Manchester RADA, and Mr. Miller is here, and he's leading the parish very well. I can't leave without saying that. I have to speak about Mr. Miller, right? And he leads the Manchester parish very well, right? I have to say that. And he's my colleague, and so I'm saying also, We're coming for you, St. Elizabeth, with production. We're coming for you from Manchester, but another secret, and from South St. Elizabeth. You all have a good evening.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. Boy, Mr. Smith, give us a talk here, and it's a win-win, you know. Anyway you turn, it's a win-win for you. But good, very, very good information. That 61%, I had no idea that it was so much. But that shows the potential that we can recycle and reuse. Some more information for your farmers. I mentioned earlier that we have the specialists from RADA, the plant health, water management, home ec, etc. Now for our registered farmers, when you visit those breakout sessions and engage, the RADA is going to give you a appreciation bag. I got it right? An appreciation bag for our registered farmers. For our farmers who are not registered, we are equipped to do a pre-registration for you today. So if you come to this forum and you are not yet registered with RADA, we can facilitate a pre-registration, okay? Alright, so everybody here, we have any unregistered farmers? Okay, good. But you mustn't, don't be afraid to acknowledge it, you know. We'll do that pre-registration for you. Alright, we have the system here ready. Alright, now we're continuing on our program, and we're going to be having some testimonials from our farmers themselves. And we're going to start with, you know, the principal of Noel High School, Audrey Ellington. So give her a round of applause as she makes her way to the podium. You have to clap her again now because she'll walk long.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shaw. Permit me to adopt the protocols already established. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
No, so
Good afternoon.
we're cooking lunch for you. So if you answer me like that, I can stop the cooks right in the middle of it. So let us go again. Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much. So I was introduced as the principal of Newell High School, as most of you would have known, and I wear that title proudly. And thank you very much for choosing Newell High School, and my MP would say the Newell High School. But today I'm speaking to you as a farmer that many of you did not know, but for many of my past students and my parents, they'll tell you that I started at Newell High as an agricultural science teacher many years ago, and I am a proud graduate of St. Elizabeth Technical High and College of Agriculture. And Mr. Shaw, the chairman for this program, was my he was my super senior. He was my super senior at college, and it's all because he treated me well, why I allowed him to be here with me today. You see? So just to say that, because I'm given 3 minutes. So just to say that presently I do beekeeping, and I am also an onion farmer. And Mr. Farmer, you know, one of our very good friends in the onion producers group. So presently, I am the president of the Newell PMO. I am the vice president of the St. Elizabeth ABSJS group. I am the PRO for the St. Best Onion Producers, and I am the president of the National Leaders Association for 4-H. So you see, I am a great farmer, both in theory and in practice. And I am very good friend of the RADA officers, and Mr. Wilson over on that side, my very good friend. And Sir Lee on that side, my very good friend. And we have many others. I don't want to call names, you know, and some get left, but you know why I have to call those 2 names. And I said, Mr. Belanfanti down there laughing with me. Because I am on this side and I am on that side, Mr. Belanfanti, as you would have known.
And so that is why we have Minister Green on this side and we have Minister Witter on the other side. I'm connected to both sides, you know. I work in Southwest, I live in Southeast, so I cannot lose. You understand? Great farmer I am. Great farmer. I'm a proud farmer. And I salute RADA. Now, I have been at many meetings and hear people complain. But one of the things that I will say to you, if you want good, you have to go after it. You can't just wait for RADA to come. So I know where the office is in Santa Cruz. That's where I went and got registered. And it is not because I was wearing any hat at all. I went in as a farmer. I went through the process, got registered, paid my fee, and of course I went and collected my ID. I was told that once you are a member of groups, you stand to benefit more. And so I encourage you farmers, if you're not yet a member of any group, let me remind you where I stand. So, for the new LPMO, we meet every Thursday. No, sorry. Every third Thursday. You hear one of my farmers down there know that? Every third Thursday right at Newell High School. And if you want to get into onion growing and onion producing, which is the latest, then we meet every first Tuesday right at Newell High School. Again, I say I am the PRO for the onion producers. We have about 48 members. We are strong in all that we do. We work as a group. We talk as a group. We cry as a group. We laugh as a group. Right, Miss Walker? Wonderful. So you see, we know that farming is a risky business, but the rewards can also be very great. So farmers, I implore you to stay connected, and I am so happy that they would have chosen St. Elizabeth, but more so Newell High School, to launch RADA Connect. And I'm happy to see you. Minister Green, you know you're always welcome on this side. And we're adopting Minister Witter because his daughter worked down here. So every good thing has to stay on this side. You understand? So you see we're strategic in everything that we do at Newell High School. So I welcome you, I thank you. And as farmers, let us continue to produce. Because if it wasn't for us, we all would not be here. Thank you very much.
Round of applause, round of applause. Thank you so much. Yeah, a lot was revealed through that speech. Deep connections. Good connections. Alright, so I want one female farmer to stand up from this side. One female farmer. Anyone? No female farmers this side? Okay, come. Alright. Alright, both of you come. Because she actually stood up first. So both of you. And I want two male farmers. Two male farmers from this side. Come to the front. Quickly, man. Move fast. Move fast. I'm going to ask you a question. And if you don't answer the question right, I have something to give you. Alright. Come. So you're going to tell me now your name and where your farm is.
Natasha Junior was a plugger man. Everything.
Alright. We see everything in the supermarket. Minister, you know everything in the supermarket. Minister don't have everything on him policy paper, you know. So tell me one crop that you grow.
Yeah, Kungu now.
Kungu now. Alright.
Melon and chicken.
Chicken, alright. So the question I'm going to ask Natasha first. You come this way and please the audience. Tell me the name of your extension officer. RADA extension. You don't remember him? Alright. Come now, it's like. You come to the table, you know. Come, tell me the name of your RADA extension.
Christopher Blake.
Christopher Blake. Alright, round of applause. Alright, how about it? No, you wanna go ahead, you know. You're going to stay right here, so. Come, Mr. Gentleman. Name and where you farm and what you farm?
Sigismund right, I farm in Hansa. I farm a lot of produce. Mainly right now I have hot pepper on the farm and collard.
Alright. Tell me the name of your extension officer.
This Forester.
Round of applause. Come, Mr. Jessup. No, you can't go yet, man. You stay right there, so. No, you can't go yet. No.
Yes, I'm Richard Park.
Richard Park. Where are you from?
Dock Valley. The BMC.
What's your group?
Peanut, pumpkin, cantaloupe. This Forester.
Round of applause. One bottle. Alright. Tell me where you farm again. Bird Savannah. Alright. The extension officer for Bird Savannah, please come this side. We're going to make a connect right now. Which RADA extension of alright, if the RADA extension officer for that area is not here now because maybe out in the field working, Mr. Mark Lee or the deputy come right now. We're making a connection right now. The extension officer is here?
He is, but he's not. He's by.
Oh, he's over that side, alright. Now, I'm going to introduce you to Mr. Jermaine Wilson, who is the Deputy Parish Agricultural Manager for St. Elizabeth. He's standing to your left. Say good morning, good afternoon, Mr. Wilson.
Good afternoon, sir. Nice to meet you.
Come on! Here is your button now, man. Alright, have a good day. And so, Mr. Wilson, now going to introduce you to your officer for further connection. Alright. Alright, thank you so much. Round of applause for her. And so, the RADA Connect initiative is not just about meeting your extension officer, right? But it's about connecting you with the technical services that RADA has to offer, right? The promotion of our mobile app. Because the minister in his presentation, the CEO, RADA in general, the ministry in general, has brought the level up to the digital platform. And so you'll hear more about that. We have one more testimonial from a farmer just before we hear from our minister with the keynote address. We have two. We're going to keep it short. Junior Salmon, farmer from Heath Mountain, and Lilith Whiteley, farmer from Corby. So both of you can come up, and so Mr. Salmon first, and then Lynette after. Round of applause for her.
Thank you so much, Mr. Shaw, Chairman. All protocols observed. I invite Mr. Odin Williams and Mrs. Donnery Rowe to please join me quickly. Mr. Odin Williams and Mrs. Donnery Rowe. Mrs. Rowe is coming.
Mr. Williams is doing some packages present.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Lee. We have been connecting from way back when. And I want to commend our extension officers. First it was Mr. Williams, and now it is the hard-working Mrs. Donnery Rowe. Through their efforts, let me ask a question. Are all farmers here part of a group? If you are not, hint, organize yourselves. There is leverage in numbers. I repeat, there is leverage in numbers. I think that the Neef Mountain, I'm the president of the Neef Mountain Evergreen Farmers Benevolent Society. And our society is well known in RADA circles. So much so that through their instrumentality, we were just a group, but through their instrumentality, we are now a benevolent society. We have been, because of our structure and organization, we have been able to attract services beyond the ordinary from RADA. We have been engaged as a grouping with the farming as a business, sponsored by Commonwealth of Learning. And man, was this transformational for us in the mountains. I have here in my hand this purple book, it says Old and Saturn. I can tell you my activities from the 1st of May 2023 until yesterday. Every day's activity is recorded. Every day's activity is recorded, and I can use it for reference to see what I did last year, what was the outcome, and so it can inform me going forward. I must tell you that I worked with the central government for 17 years, up to 2014 while I still dabbled in farming. But since 2014 to now, and as long as the Lord lended me breath, farming will be my venture. No less of a person than the Prime Minister of Jamaica, the most honorable Dr. Andrew Michael Holness said, farming is big business. I am happy that, let me say this now, he was very strategic in having the two ministers from the southern belt of St. Elizabeth. They say St. Elizabeth is a breadbasket parish, but let me tell you something, it's southern St. Elizabeth. I want to say to the Honourable Minister, I am happy that I am up before him, because I want to say, they say, which is correct, that we are resilient, but the resilience right after burial. Luckily for me, I was preparing to plant in July, and so I had tomato seedlings. I planted 2 acres, and during the peak of the prices, 2 acres, that's 7,000 plants, and I couldn't pick more than probably 800 pounds maximum. But after the December period, tomato went to $10 a pound. I was only able to pick 10,000 pounds during the selling time, but after the selling time, over 20,000 pounds rotted on the ground. This is the reason I'm making this recommendation. I have been told by several personnel in RADA that we don't have a production problem, we have a distribution problem. And Mr. Minister, we are at the mercy, sir, of the middlemen. We do the work while they enjoy the benefits. And for agriculture to be sustainable, this must come to an end. We must at last see the fruits, begin to see the fruits of our labor. So I am humbly suggesting, sirs, that leverage the RADA resources across Jamaica to identify the areas that are in need of the product, and so we can have the product distributed so the farmer can at least break even, so we can have a start to go again. We are asking also, sir, that we know that it's a free market. So if RADA to make this in a $10 a pound, that is unsustainable. It's very unsustainable. So I'm asking that whenever tomato reach what I feel to be, not even the break-even price, but $50 a pound, that RADA intervenes and start buying and distributing to the areas that doesn't have. This will send a signal to the higglers and to farmers that will stand for your price. RADA is like they don't have to sell to you, so they have to come up to our level. Please, Mr. Minister, use of the agricultural budget to help the farmers in this regard. There are many more. Well, it's RADA Connect. Let me look at the thing quickly. It's Connect, and I must commend the Minister for his availability to us, the farmers. It is the first in the ages. It is his. I can stand without fear of honest contradiction that this is the best agricultural team in terms of ministers that we have had in years.
because I've seen the impact from them through RADA. Mr. Minister, finally, sir, a farmer who invests millions. I'm a small farmer, but a tomato crop like that will cost for 1.5 million to bring it to market. And after you have invested and you have experienced challenges such as acts of God like a hurricane, I know that the farmers are many, but to give a farmer who have lost in excess of $1 million 2 bags of fertilizer is almost insulting. So I ask that the extension officers go out and do the due diligence and you assist with inputs as per the output capacity of each farm. So let us have it more scientific approach instead of a broad brush approach, and so it will be more beneficial to the farmers. I thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Summon. We almost said that was the main address, but not according to the agenda. But thank you so much for that testimony. And so we'll ask our lady family now to come.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lynette White here, small farmer from Corbett District in Monroe. RADA has been so good. Mrs. Rose is my exemption officer, and I would like to give up her. She's a person who you can call on. I'm not going to stay long. Like this.
I was going to make a comment, but I don't even know if this is. You know, ladies tend to be, and I say it only because it's not my word. But you know, the other day I was in a conversation with a gentleman, you know, he's in construction. And he said to me, he said, Shaw, you know, say, I realize, say, if they employ women to mix the matter more than the men. Because when the woman come, they just get down to business, you know, and mix up the thing. But when the man them come, they sit down a little bit, they smoke, they rub their hand wiggle, they eat something, they drop asleep. Then by the time they wake up, it's lunchtime, and then they have to wait till the sun cool down, and before you look at time to go home. But you see how the lady just come and get to business. So thank you so much. The testimonies of our farmers, they are always excellent. And it's a proof that we are connected. But as Honorable Minister Witter had said earlier, this is about deepening and strengthening that connection. Now, many of you would have received brochures. And just to let you know that on the brochure, there is a list of all the RADA contacts for every parish. Alright? So later you can look at it. And on the other brochure, we have the QR codes that you can scan with your smartphone. I went to a farm the other day and the farmer had 3 smartphones, 2 in his back pocket and 1 in his hand. But you can scan. And when you scan this QR code, the information is there. So if you're not a person that wants to walk up and down with a whole heap of paperwork all the time, the information you can get it digital. So we're at the moment where we will now invite our Honorable Minister, Floyd Green, Member of Parliament, Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining, to come with the keynote address. And I ask that you make the Minister welcome at this time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shaw. Could you give Mr. Shaw a big round of applause? I think he's been doing a wonderful job. Our State Minister, Minister Franklin Witter, man from Southeast St. Elizabeth, who grew up protecting, advocating, and working for farmers. Always a pleasure to have you as right by my side as we guide the team at the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries and Mining. Our CEO of RADA, Mr. Garnet Edmondson, and members of the RADA team, and I'm good to see Mr. Simpson here. I know he loves St. Elizabeth. I hear Marina Young is here. But I want a big round of applause for the St. Elizabeth team, led by Mark Lee and Mr. Jermaine Wilson. In fact, I don't know how we're going to talk to Mr. Wilson after this, because I look at the program and I see his picture is plastered on the program. So in Ghana, Lee, no. If I'm going to start, I'm going to sign autograph. But very hard working team in St. Elizabeth, and they have pulled all of this together. Members of the ministry team, our principal director, Mr. Price, other person from the central ministry. I know a number of our parish managers from RADA are also here, and our partners, Mr. Johnson from St. Jacob Farm and Hardware Supplies, Mr. Dunkley from Caribbean Chemicals, my friend from H&L Agro. I wonder which capacity you came in when I saw you earlier, if it's farmer or it's H&L Agro. But Kingsley is always on the ground with the farmers. Can we clap our partners? I think it was important for RADA to come on this journey, not alone. And I know our insurance partners are also here with us, GK Weather Protect. Other distinguished guests, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen, and the most important people here, our farmers. Good afternoon, everybody. We are here, Councillor Carl White, another farmer. I see you at the front. Witness Smith Corey from the Solid Waste Agency, and I know Sheldon Smith from the Solid Waste. A lot of people are here. It's a good way to start. Give RADA no. No, you know what? When I say RADA, you say Connect. RADA, RADA. This is an excellent way to start a wonderful program. And we could not think of a better parish to start it in than the parish of St. Elizabeth. We don't have to hide. I see Mr. Miller side eyeing me. But the best farmers in the world live in St. Elizabeth. That is a fact. I mean, we have excellent farmers all over Jamaica. But St. Elizabeth farmers are the best. That's why they call us Saint. Saint? You don't have two Saints. You only have one. So we don't have a Highland talk. But to be honest, over the years, our St. Elizabeth farmers have built a reputation for themselves, grounded in resilience, productivity, and innovation. And today we are here to honor the strength of our farmers in St. Elizabeth and to work with them as we embark on another journey. So as I start this presentation, let me get something out the way. St. Elizabeth is still the breadbasket of Jamaica. I don't know why some people would want to downplay St. Elizabeth, and why some people would want St. Elizabeth not to be the breadbasket. But whether they like it or not, we will continue to be the breadbasket of Jamaica. And we're not talking in talk, we're talking in action. Last year, Jamaica produced 168,000 tons of produce. Of that number, St. Elizabeth accounted for 144,394. In fact, 19% of the total production for the country of Jamaica came from St. Elizabeth. This is the breadbasket of Jamaica. And to be honest, we started last year on a kilter. Our first 2 quarters were exceptional. I mean, Mark was over the moon in the January to March quarter. April, May, June, when we were looking at the figures, we say, yes, sir, this is going to be our biggest year ever. But the reality is that last year turned out to be a very difficult year for farmers from St. Louis. We had a major hurricane. To be honest, most other places, if they had experienced burial the way we experienced it in the south last year, we could not be here this year. but is a testament to the resilience of the people. Where we're able to gather, not even 1 year has passed, but we're able to come back. And when we started to recover from Berry, and we said, boy, we're putting back our things in the field, and things looking good, and my friend from Neath Mountain, he quickly skip over the high price part. You know, tell how much money he make when the prices were high, right? He quickly jumped to the part when no money now make. But he skip over the facts and he plant 2 acres when it was how much a pound? How much a pound with tomato? When we started to recover, unfortunately in November, we had non-stop rains. And in fact, a lot of the people who had put out a lot to recover and expanded their production suffered significant loss towards the last part of last year. So it turned out to be a challenging year for our farmers. And that's why when the team from RADA sat down and decided where should we start our RADA Connect series, we decided the best place to start it is in St. Elizabeth. Because one, the farmers are great, but also because you've been through such a tough year last year, we cannot take anything for granted. We want to strengthen our connections with you. And we're starting right here in St. Elizabeth, but after St. Elizabeth, we're taking this show on the road. And RADA Connect is really about bringing essential agricultural services directly into our farming communities. It's about bringing all our technical support teams so that you will have a one-stop shop on this day where you can come out, you can get on-the-spot technical advisory support, we can help you navigate, and I'm going to talk about what we're moving towards. And also, as you have heard, we have brought our service providers with us, so you will get discounts, you will get technical support from them. In fact, see, we even have the Solid Waste Agency here today to speak about something as important as composting. Using some of the things that you would put to waste and turning it into things like fertilizer. And I want you to take that seriously, because if you didn't see the news this week Grace Kennedy has announced that they're going to use the waste from when they produce skelly and mash and those things, and they're making that into an organic fertilizer that they're starting to distribute. So everything you hear Mr. Smith say about some of the things that we are throwing away, that we could use it to save some money out in the farms, I want you to take it very seriously. So when we sat down as a team, the Ministry of Agriculture along with RADA and its new leadership, and we said, what is the best way to expand our impact? We decided to come on the road, but not just to come on the road. A lot of you know our extension services are stretched. You have one extension officer, and that extension officer has to serve over 1,000 farmers. So it makes it very, very difficult for our extension officers to get to the farmers, especially when you need the extension officer most. But as you would have heard from Mr. Shaw, what we have noticed now, a lot of our farmers have their smartphones. A lot of our farmers are on Facebook, them on TikTok non-stop, them on WhatsApp round the clock, which is good. We want to use the technology to bring the extension services to your fingertips. So the RADA Connect is really part of a broader drive towards providing more support to you, our farmers. And today, we will be working with you to say, download the RADA mobile application. So if you don't know, RADA has a mobile app that you can download, like how you download TikTok, like how you download Facebook. And when you download the app and you have it on your phone, you can then have extension services anytime you want. The app comes already with some videos. Loxley Waits, put up your hand. If you know Loxley Waits, you know that is the man that runs our Onion program. And when you go on the app, you will find a number of videos from Loxley telling you what to do, what is the best case scenario, how to plant, what chemicals to use. Additionally, you will be able to use the RADA app. And for the first time, you can book an appointment for your extension officer. So the extension officer don't turn up and you are not there. You can go in the app and you can say, Mr. Blake, I need you to come to my farm at 11 o'clock on this day. And Mr. Blake can respond and say, 11 o'clock book, so I will come on 4 o'clock on that day. So you now will be able to schedule your visits from your extension officers using the mobile app. The other thing, suppose you're out in the field and you see something on your plant and you don't like how it looks. The mobile app gives you the ability to take a picture of what you see. Send it in through the app. And you don't have to wait till a man comes. Somebody in real time will look at it and say, boy, this doesn't look good. This is what we think you should use to deal with this. So we are bringing extension services at your fingertips. Sound good, not true? Yes. So the most say connect. RADA is connecting with our farmers. So we will provide through the app that demonstrations, immediate farm registration. The other thing that you can do in the app is, let us say you have an excess amount of tomatoes, an excess amount of cabbage. You can put that in the app and you can tell us so we know, so we can activate our Alex marketing services. And our Alex people are here. Alex, hold up your hand and stand up. Anybody who have excess produce, talk to these people today. Alex and our marketing officers, they can help you in that distribution issue. I'll speak a little bit more about it. Additionally, one of the things I like about the app, it makes a difference between who is really a farmer and who is not a farmer. So you see, if anybody can download the app and you get some of it, but to experience the fullness of the app, you have to put in your ID number, and then it brings you into another portal that you can see much more. We are using the technology to serve you better. It is putting services at the fingertips of our farmers. So what we are not taking it for granted that everybody know how to do it. So this is why we are here. We will help you download it. We will help you walk through it. We will provide these services so that when you go out, especially those of you who are in groups, when you download the app, don't keep it to yourself. Carry it to your group. Help them download it. Some of them might have to delete some of them pictures, so they can have enough space on their phone. But it is important. We want every registered farmer to have the RADA app so that we can reach to them at any time. The other thing that the app will help us to do, and this is something that Mr. Edmondson is very passionate about, I should be able to stay in any office, pull up a computer system, and know how much tomato we have out there, know how much potato we have out there. If we have a system where the farmers can tell us that you put in 2 acre potato or onion, then we can have a real-time system where we can tell what we are producing. What that also helps us to do is to say to you, to farmer, listen now, a whole heap of tomato plant. If you have a plant tomato now, no is not the time. Wait a little bit, or try a little cucumber, or try some sweet pepper. When we have the information, we can use the app to also direct you into the areas that would make more sense. Or we can tell you, you know what we're missing? We're missing eggplant. And this is the price for eggplant. So if you don't know how to grow eggplant, tell us. We will come out there and show you how to grow eggplant. So like it makes sense, don't you? Yes. We have to use the technology now to make our agricultural process better. So that is one of the reasons why we are here, to ensure that you download the app, to ensure that we connect with you, to bring the services at your fingertips. But this is just one of the initiatives that we're doing. And one of the things that I do, every parish that I go to, I speak about what we are doing in that parish. So I know there are a lot of people on the live watching us now, and I'm saying to them, I'm going to talk about some of the things we're doing in St. Elizabeth. It don't mean we're not doing things any other parish, right? But we know that the best farmers in the world have had some of the hardest times in the world. You have come through despite barely having rainfall. despite being one of the parishes with the lowest level of irrigation water, but you have shine. So it don't make sense to talk about it and we don't fix it. And I can tell you, growing up in St. Elizabeth, Minister Witter and I will tell you, for decades, we heard people say they're going to fix the water problems in St. Elizabeth, especially in South St. Elizabeth. I grew up just above a place called Comerpen. And every election cycle, people used to come around and say, don't worry yourself, Comerpen, you soon get water. Well, I can tell you, since 2017, we started the Essex Valley Agricultural Development Program, a US $50 million program. And this is not what we are going to do. I think it's important to tell you in Essex Valley what we have already done. We've already dug 8 wells in Essex Valley, of which we are utilizing 5 of them. We have already laid pipes to bring irrigation water to over 1,600 acres of land stretching from Comerpen Downs all the way into New Forest. We have already put in a renewable energy system because it don't make sense to put in a system for water and then you can't afford the water. And we know electricity is the biggest challenge. So we are going to be in Essex Valley putting in what at this time will be the biggest ever renewable energy system for agriculture. 3.1 megawatts of energy. If you go down there, I can't tell you how many solar panels we have. Hundreds of solar panels. In fact, we're 90% complete with that. 5,000 solar panels that we have put in Essex Valley. And I'll tell you what we're going to do. You can go down there and look when I finish talking and you will see that they are down there. 5,000 solar panels. Additionally, not only are we doing the wells, the pipelines, so we've done the wells, we've laid all the pipelines, we've done the renewable energy, we've also done over 33 kilometers of roads, brand new roads, in addition to 60 kilometers of roads that we have rehabilitated. That can it, not true? And these are things you can go and look on as we speak. The only thing that is left for us to do now in Essex Valley is to get the pumps in. And the pumps have been ordered. We expect them in another few months and then it will go through installation and Essex Valley will be up and running come 2026. I think that deserves a big round of applause. But that is not all, because as a part of Essex Valley, we will build the largest ever storage facility in St. Elizabeth for agricultural produce. We have, and thank you Minister Witter, because when we said it will build, it sounds like it not start yet. Sorry. We are about to open the largest ever storage facility that has been built for agriculture in St. Elizabeth. It is over 7,000 square feet. Let me put it in context. It can hold 22 containers worth of produce. And not only is it there for storage, we have set it up in a way that if you are looking to do puree, you can do puree. If you are looking to do brine, you can do brine. And if you are looking for dry storage, we can give you that as well. That will be open in another few months. So some of the challenges that we have had in this parish with excess vegetable production, we are solving that problem. Because what it means, where's the show and stuff? What is happening and what will happen? As my friend from Neath Mountain has said, when that is operational, instead of you having tomatoes going to waste, we will now be able, RADA and the ministry, to intervene buy those tomatoes, put those tomatoes in storage so that it can serve for a longer time. What that will do is moderate the fluctuation in prices, will ensure you get a better return on your investment, and will also, remember, it's not just about farmers, because the ministry is a ministry of balance. It will also ensure that the consumer will have a better price. Because what happens, as we all know, the price goes down, the farmers complain, and then you lose on your investment, and then 2 weeks later you can't find a tomato. And what happens next? The price go up and the consumers complain. What we need is a stable price, right? And the only way to do that is in relation to storage. And I tell you what we have done in Essex Valley, because I'm about to tell you some of what we are doing and we will do in Egypt. Because Essex Valley is a $50 million US project. The Cabinet of Jamaica has already approved a $250 million US project called the Pigeon Plains Irrigation System to ensure that farmers in communities like Flagaman, all of this area, will have irrigation water. So, what have we done with Pigeon Plains? Because a lot of people don't understand that the Pigeon Plains project has started. In fact, we have already spent over $1 billion on the Pigeon Plains project. But the first thing that we had to do, from before I was born, people were saying that you should take water from the Black River and use that water to provide irrigation. Before I was born, literally. When I came in as Member of Parliament, people would say to me, MP, the water issue, we have to fix it. So the first thing we had to do is look at what we call the feasibility. Can it really work? Do we have enough water in the Black River to irrigate the plains of Pigeon all the way from Laconia mountainside, come through Babylon, come through Flagaman, all the way to Top Hill? Do we first have enough? And as such, we got some people from France to work with our NIC to do a feasibility study. And they looked and they say, yes, we have enough water to satisfy our needs. Then we have the design, and we did the preliminary designs of the project. Having done the preliminary designs and gotten the approval, we then had to look at the issue of land titling. Why is that important? The designs call for a lift from the Black River, pipes to be run to go into huge reservoirs, and then to use that to supply the entire area. So if you're going to run pipe on somebody's land, you have to have the documents. As you and I know, a lot of people in St. Elizabeth don't have their documents. So under the Pigeon Plains irrigation scheme, we have already completed over 1,000 cadastral surveys where we will bring titles to over 1,000 residents of this area free of cost. Free of cost. To ensure that we have the necessary easements to run the pipeline to move Pigeon Plains forward. Additionally, we have already done the environmental impact and we have passed that stage. So the environmental people have said it can work. We have completed the mapping of the land ownership. In fact, we have mapped about 20,000 parcels of land that will benefit from the water in the Pigeon Plains irrigation scheme. Where we are now, Cabinet has already approved Pigeon Plains as a national development project. We're going to go to Parliament this month for Parliament's approval, and I do expect by the latest July, we will break ground for the Pigeon Plains irrigation scheme and will start the work to bring water to all of these areas. So I'm not telling you things that are maybe happen, might happen. I'm telling you things that are already in train. And again, I know sometimes when you don't see it, you say, boy, nothing happen. But we had to do all of that work to get us to this point. And after that, remember, just like Essex Valley, not only are we going to do pipes and water, we're going to do roads, we're going to do storage, we're going to ensure that this entire area has all it needs for agriculture sustainability. But since I'm talking about storage, we're not waiting until Pedro Plains irrigation is finished for storage. In fact, in this financial year, we're going to be bringing some cold storage to Pedro Plains. We have already identified a parcel of land in Flagaman that we're going to be, over the next month, 2 months, that we're going to be developing 9,966 square feet of new cold storage space. This is in total across 6 locations. So in Pedro Plains, we're going to do 2 containerized storage solutions that are going to be run by renewable energy, that are going to be especially programmed to help store fruits like melon, cantaloupe, honeydew, so that when we have the excess in that Flagaman belt, we will be able to store it already. We've identified a location. You can talk for that. We've identified a location. We're working with the Anglican Church, and Mr. Markley has promised me that he will ensure that that will be finished. You want me to tell him the time? Okay. 2 months. I give him 2 months. I give him 2 months in which that will be finished. Additionally, and there's so much, but it will take too long. One of the challenges that we do have is land preparation. We have to ensure that we are more efficient. We have to ensure that we are more productive. And as such, we have been working with RADA to mechanize land preparation right across the length and breadth of Jamaica. We know that we have to increase the RADA equipment pool if we are going to serve more farmers, especially as we look at the challenges in relation to labor. So, in St. Elizabeth, the RADA equipment pool has 3 tractors, 2 harrows, 2 ridges, and a few equipment tailored for onion production and mulching. I'm pleased today to advise that we're going to put a brand new tractor in the RADA equipment pool. And as you can look, you will see the tractor is here. In fact, we are presenting RADA today with 2 brand new tractors. I maybe should have said where the other one going. Because like when they park, I said Elizabeth. Like when they park, I said Elizabeth. But to be fair, we are presenting 1 new RADA tractor to the parish of St. Elizabeth and a new RADA tractor to the parish of Manchester. This is a part of our drive to put more equipment in RADA. In fact, these are 2. Over the next few weeks, we will put an additional 4 new tractors into the RADA system. This is by far the biggest investment ever in tractor services in RADA. And what we're trying to do with the tractor services is twofold. We're trying to build a base so that we have our own. We don't necessarily have to depend on anybody. That is one. But we know we will never have enough. So we're going to use a mixed model. We will have some, but we are going to partner with the private sector. Because oftentimes people have tractors that are underutilized. And when a farmer needs a tractor, he needs it now. He can't wait. So part of what you will hear me speak about in my budget is that we're going to be putting some funds so you can go to the private man and pay the public price. We will subsidize the tractor service of private contractors to get you the service you need when you need it. Again, there is a lot on the agenda. So, let me stop here. Because if I continue, we're going to be here for a very long time. But I hope you appreciate that part of what we are doing is transform agriculture. That is what we are serious about. And we're not doing it in talk. Because talk is cheap. A lot of governments have come and have spoken years, but when you ask them, what have they done? Show me your investment. Show me the tractors you buy. and you talk about land preparation. Show me the irrigation that you have done. They cannot show. This is a government of action. And when you ask us what we have done for farmers, we can show you. I tell them love is an action word. If you love the farmers, you must show it in action. The last matter I will deal with. Part of the RADA Connect is to ensure you know your marketing officers. RADA has a system of marketing officers across the parishes that where you have excess produce, there is somebody you can call. We have recognized that not a lot of you know who is that person to call. So we want you to connect with that person. The other thing that I will tell you, because I know this is the season, and people say all sorts of things. The government operates from a local production first priority. What that means is that if we produce enough locally, we are not going to import it. Right? That is the system that myself and Minister Witter run. Additionally, and I'm saying this to my peanut farmers, additionally, if we see production increase and we know that people used to import, we are going to cut it off. Right? Because if we have sufficient on the market, we are going to ensure that you can move your products. And I do know that now we have seen some bumper crops of peanut, and we are taking steps to ensure you will be able to move your peanuts. So give me another couple weeks. We have done the numbers out there. We have seen that we have enough that can move around. Once we identify that we have enough, we will prioritize that. But this is why we need the app. You see, if you have the app now, we won't have to wait till we send out a man, go check and find out. You could have said, boy, Minister, RADA, me have X amount of peanut that is not moving. And we could do that in real time so that we can cut it off in real time. You understand? So that is how we are treating with it. So we are trying to ensure that whatever you plant, you will have a market for. And RADA will tell you, this is the last part, and this is the farmer's part now. RADA will tell you to do two things. Form in groups. It is important that you organize yourselves. If you don't organize yourself, it is much harder to reach. And whatever you are planting, talk to us and plant to a market. Agriculture is business, you know. Agriculture is not farm account. Agriculture is big business. If you do it well, you can make a lot of money. Some of us still, we are plant and then hope. Can't plant like that. We need to know what is the price we're looking at. You see, the book in the agriculture business, we tell you, record everything, know how much money you're putting in, know how much time you spend, know how much money you're getting out, know the market that you're planting. Or part of what we want the RADA Collective to do is to link you more with buyers directly. Yes, sir. And if you did not hear when the Prime Minister speak, we are moving now that farmers can get concession not just on pickup, because sometimes if you transport it in the pickup, it don't keep the sort of storage that you need. So you will now be able to get concessions on panel vans and small refrigerated trucks that you can buy and you can use to supply your produce to the market. We are prioritizing agriculture in a big way. So enjoy RADA Connect. I will be around. I know you will have a good time. Once I start questions, garden show much up. But it is hard to be around farmers and not take even a couple questions. So let us take 5 questions. Yes. Hold on.
I'm Andrea James from Manchester, and I want to commend you with your speech today. But for me, as a consumer, agriculture is life. Agriculture is the medicine for the soul. And I would like to see when I walk into the market, I would like to see the difference between local products and imported products. I also would like to see the difference between chemically grown products and natural organic products. From a consumer perspective, it's very difficult. You bring all kinds of things. This morning I was talking to my aunt and she said, I'm trying some planting, but this planting looks white as chalk and there's no little brown spot in the planting. And she believes it's carbine. So we really need to start looking at having a paradigm shift about food safety in agriculture. It's our life we're dealing with. So thank you for, I'd like to see an area for RADA that focus solely on organic.
Alright, so very, very, very good point. Can we give her a round of applause, please? So a couple of things. It is supposed to be labeled, right? So if you come across a supermarket that has not labeled imported and local, or in the market, that is something that we'll have to look into in the market space, but definitely the supermarket spaces. We do have a drive for organics. In fact, we partner with the Jamaica Association of Organic Farmers, and we're providing about $50 million. We'll be doing some training to get more farmers to look at the using organics, and we are doing more. In fact, they had something yesterday, and some of the things that you see talking about compost, some of the work with SPF, we are pushing organics in a very big way. And you're right, food is about health. Sometimes people take it for granted. In fact, we have done some studies through the pesticide authority on residue. You know, those things are becoming much more critical. So it is something that is front of mind for us. So I agree with your sentiments.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, just a moment. For those who have questions, just come in the queue. We have 4 more questions to take this gentleman. The other 3, come in the queue and just come right up. So, sir, just come right up. We only have 1 mic. Sorry for the inconvenience. But for the other 3 persons, if there are 3 other questions, just come to the queue. And make a question to the point. Okay? Yes, please.
Greedy. Be a peanut farmer and come and produce a lot of peanut, Hopewell, green tea, and surrounding tea. I mean, I tell you, it's the worst time we have a pea.
Come forward and go back, sir.
With our produce this year, because yeah. And the rest here, I will have it when it comes to the peanuts. No buyer. So, we have even know the people can price. We don't get that mean price now.
Yeah, so sometimes, you know, what we have found is that there is a significant increase in peanut production, right? All over. In fact, if you travel the length and breadth of the constituency, I was up in Prospect and a man showed me a storeroom that was full with peanut. Talking to the farmers, some of the farmers who had come out of peanut thing. So, you know, farming is a thing. And this is our interest. We know how farmers operate. So last year you might have a good year. Alright, now let's go back. The year before, you know, some farmers come out of it and say, boy, the peanut don't make no sense, it doesn't sell. Then them see some farmers do well last year and they say, boy, it look like peanut makes sense, can price them a peanut. And then everybody come back in a peanut. Right? And then what it does, it creates an excess. Because the demand does not significantly rise, right? And as I was saying, across the length and breadth of the constituency is the most peanut I ever come across. Like on veranda, it's all over, right? So what we are doing, we had a few weeks ago, long before this meeting, we had asked our team to go out in the fields and to give us a feedback in relation to the quantities of peanut and vis-a-vis the demand. Because once we have enough peanut to satisfy the local demand, then we don't need to look elsewhere, right? So I expect that in another 2 weeks, because it will take some weeks for the system to chip in, you will see better. Around everything, you will see movement, right? And then price will come over time.
Thank you for the opportunity, Mr. Minister. I noted your discourse in relation to the concession on vehicles. I am aware that a farmer will need a tax compliance certificate in order to access this benefit. Could there be any consideration for a flat income tax amount for farmers, that we could get more farmers on board? The treasury will increase. Those who are not in the system will come on board and will have access to DBG and other agencies that are in position to assist farmers. Second question, the insurance, the crop insurance. To my mind, it will be better if we have access to that in an event of disaster, whether the drought or otherwise. And the government, if you can subsidize that for farmers, it will take off the pressure off you in the event of in the event that something occurs, then the insurance will take care of that, as opposed to going to have to be tackling that head on. Thank you.
So I said two things in relation to tax. Part of what we should do in this RADA Connect, Garnet and the team, is talk about some of those issues. You know, I think I was at a forum last week with a farmer. Mr. Witt was there as well, and he said, you know, they wanted a grant and they had to register their business and they had to become tax compliant in order to get the grant, right? They got a grant of $40 million, right? 4 of them, yeah, it's about $50 million. State of the art greenhouses. But you know, he made a point in passing. He was saying it is only after he registered and understood how tax work that they realize it's not going to be afraid. Right? I think sometimes this is when you even ask for a single rate. If you're doing your tax properly, right, you don't worry about that. Because tax is tied to what you earn. Right? And there are a lot of deductions that you can take out of taxation. You see, especially in agriculture, where you don't pay some taxes, you will be surprised. So I'm saying this to the RADA team, let us tackle this issue, right? Because we will need more farmers to register, quite frankly, right? Because there are benefits out there, but there are systems that have to be in place. In relation to the insurance, I hope everybody is signing up for the crop insurance. You know, you made a point earlier about RADA support after event. The truth is, it's very difficult. When you have thousands of farmers that have been impacted like Hurricane Berry, you kind of have to decide, do you try and touch everybody or do you touch a small amount but give them what they need to get back up? Anyway you turn, Makachu. Because you touch everybody, and I'm going to say two fertilizer insult. And then if you only touch you and you get back up, I'm going to say, I give you love. I only him you deal with. I show you my friend. That is the problem. Right? What I have said for the RADA programs, however, there has to be a clear way that I can say to you how you get 2 bags and him get 1. You understand? And it has to be a clear way that if you get this time, another person get the next time. Some people want every time. Can't work. And then they pressure the RADA extension officer. Cost them. Can't work like that. And if you are on a RADA program, and I'm speaking frankly now, farmers, if I'm helping you with onion, we must be able to put you on a 3-year plan. Where after 3 years, I can help somebody else. You understand? So if we help you this year with 1 acre, next year we come back with half, last year we give you 1/4, they'd be done. Because you're supposed to be making enough money It's not a welfare, you know. You have to make the money so you can turn it over as business you're running. So if I give you grants to your business, you must take it, turn it over, so that by the third year you as a minister, we can help someone else. Don't bother come back to me. Right? That is how we're going to do it. And I have said for the hurricane assistance, I do believe we have to have a formula that ties it to the level of loss, right? But we also have to balance that we try to touch as much people. Because sometimes some man get a one bag and they have. You understand? So we really have to try. Oh, but listen to the budget presentation. I am going to be talking about something for insurance. And I said no, we are going to be putting in a system that we will pay some of the insurance money. So we want to sign up for the insurance. Right? Because it makes sense. It's a parametric scheme, right? It doesn't want, whether or not you get damage, once it reaches a certain threshold, you will get a payment automatic. And that payment happens within 2 weeks, 3 weeks of the event. So it is important.
Okay, good afternoon again. It's Honorary Road, Agricultural Extension Officer for Southfield. My concern, and it's directed to the person from NSW, me. We have an issue when we do our visits with the farmers with the disposal of pesticide containers. They try, we train them and they try to manage, but sometimes it's overwhelming. So my suggestion is if there could be a specific day set where the farmers are aware that this particular truck will be coming to collect these containers, and also skips specific to store these pesticide containers so that we can relieve the buildup on the farms. Because it's not a good look when you go visit the farms and there's this buildup of pesticide containers.
Very good point. And as she spoke, she basically gave the solution. And that's beautiful that we're thinking. I'm saying, because I do have that problem on my farm. There are all these pesticide bottles. So I am thinking that we could, and it's not in place, and it's a good suggestion, that we have specific areas with specific containers and all the farmers can take it there, and at a specific period we'll send the trucks in to remove them. So we're going to put that in place. So in collaboration, maybe town hall meeting and so on, our CRO could set that up. We come, we talk to the farmers, and we choose at the most appropriate place in each community for us to place these containers so we can put the bottles in and we remove them on a timely basis. Thank you.
So can we cover our extension officer? Excellent. So clearly what we're going to say is that coming out of this first RADA Connect, RADA, the Ministry of Agriculture and the National Solid Waste Management Authority will engage in a partnership to treat with the collection of pesticide containers. Right? We already have a suggested approach where you look to specialized containers, specialized areas, and specialized collection. And we will work together and see how we make that happen. I think that's a great suggestion. I think that's a practical solution. And I don't think it will take us a lot of money. So we will commit to do something with you to get it done. We can start it right here in your area. So we can pilot it and see how it goes. We'll start in your extension area. We'll pilot it in your extension area. Very, very good.
What year is it?
Southfield.
Okay, our last question.
My question was about the field, but I'm not sure it's all that talk about that. We're talking about the irrigation and drought plan from September to October. Yeah, we got getting the one and the cheap for crop in a row. Start with seed, fertilizer, and what the tough to restart.
Thank you.
Mr. Singh, show yourself. I'm gone, or Mr. Jazz. Alright, I'll check into that. Are you getting the water now? Oh, alright. So let me tell you, the reality is that. So we made some extensions since I've been member of parliament. We've extended into Downs Valley, we've extended into Shorty, we've just extended into Hounslow in terms of our irrigation services. The reality is that the systems are stretched, quite frankly. We have more farmers coming on board, more people are taking it on. So what we need is Pigeon Plains, right? One of the good things from Pigeon Plains is that Pigeon Plains will replace the supply from the existing wells, right? It will give us much more flow than we're getting from the wells now. Some of those wells will go into producing potable water, so some of the communities that have a problem with water will be able to solve it. So the answer is Pigeon Plains. Until then, I will talk to them about the regulation and see what more can be done.
Honorable Minister, thank you so much. Give the Minister a round of applause. Thank you, Minister, for your address. Thank you for your charge. And thank you for your commitment to the sector. We are at the close of this part of the agenda. But I'm asking you to bear with us just for a couple more minutes. So the three things will follow. We will have Mr. Owen Barrett, who is the manager of the ICT department at RADA. He will be showing or giving a quick demonstration of the RADA mobile app, how to download and access. This is particularly for the persons who are online, right? Because we will be having a breakout session. The ICT table will be right here at the front for those who want to come and download, but we want to communicate that information to our viewers. After Mr. Owen Barrett, our CEO, Mr. Garnet Edmondson, will come with a closing remarks. Brief closing remarks. Then our minister, or ministers, our honorable ministers, will be doing the handing over of the tractor right on the outside. So what we're asking, when the minister is doing the handing over ceremony, we don't want everybody to exit and crowd because of course we want the camera to capture. So you can turn around and there will be a few persons, representatives here with the minister. And after that, we'll be having our breakout sessions where you, the farmer, will connect with the different specialists right here under this tent. Some of them will be here under the tent, the labels will be here, and some are on the outside, where you can have further discussions on issues and questions and concerns that you may have. So at this time, I'll turn over to Mr. Owen Barrett and then Mr. Garnet Edmondson will come to us. Thank you.
RADA? Connect. So at this time, we're going to connect to the RADA mobile app. Alright? Now, it's a part of our digital transformation at RADA. And we have created this application called Spark. On my left, I'm going to demonstrate how you download the RADA app on the Google Play Store. It is also on the Apple Store as well. So you click on the Play Store icon, and then you type in the search menu, RADA. And then you see RADA mobile app. You click on it, and it will demonstrate the screenshots to download the application. Once you download the application, it will be on your screen, which is RADA. Click on it and open it, and then you have your features that you can access different resources, weather information, farmer information. You can click on the menu section. You will have contact information if you want to contact the farmer, if you want to know more information about RADA, if you want to register, and give them basically information on how to register. And you have additional buttons. So you have a RADA guide, the minister mentioned that earlier, where you can search for technical information.
farm records. You can update farm records. You can check your status of your farmer IDs. Remember, we're in the age now, you have Data Protection Act. You can also check your information, farmer information, to see if it's correct. And you can reach out to the extension officer. You can click on to request a visit from the extension officer and also put a date and time where you want them to contact you. You can also click on farm problems where you can take a photo if you have any issue in the field. So these are some basic information right now, but we're going to give you technical, more information later on at the RADA booth. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Barrett. Thank you so much. So that is a snapshot, and if you need further information, the ICT unit is right here at the front. You can contact them. Mr. Edmondson with the closing remarks.
RADA? I'm not hearing you. RADA? Wonderful. Mr. Chairman, Ministers, Green and Witter, today has been a beautiful day. A day that we have well spent thus far. We have connected with a number of issues. Our partners, input suppliers, would have connected with us and pledged their continued support for agriculture. Support for agriculture means support for our farmers. Support for our farmers means support for growth and development in Jamaica. I have a dream. I know I'm not Martin Luther King, but I have a dream that one day Jamaica will be the little China for the Caribbean that produces agriculture product to supply the entire Caribbean. That is my dream. I may not live to see that dream, but I know that dream will come alive if we continue. Today, we start a beautiful journey. And I want to tell you, from the leadership of RADA, we will sustain this journey. We will sustain a journey because we want to make sure that our officers maintain a connection with our farmers. That is the only way we are going to meet the production demand that exists in our country. That is the only way we are going to reduce our need for foreign exchange. That is the only way we are going to reduce the need for imported products. We must look at how we produce and strategically align our team with the farmers to ensure that we manage this properly. So ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you very much for participating. I'm going to hand over to our moderator and we'll see you again soon in St. Elizabeth. I think it's next week. We're going to another part of St. Elizabeth and we're going to be combing right through St. Elizabeth until we connect with 100% of the farmers. I pledge to you, when we leave here, we will have all our farmers registered, up to date, on all our digital platforms so we can know what is happening out there. And you can always connect with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Edmondson. So ladies and gentlemen, we are at the part of the program now where our honorable ministers will be doing the ceremonial handing over of the tractors on the outside. And after that, we'll have the breakout sessions. Now, just to let you know, lunch is provided and the lunch will be provided during that session. So it will be here that it will be provided. During the time when you're doing the sessions, we'll get the lunches to you. Alright? Yeah. Okay, so let us bring our attention now to the tractors and the minister and the team.